Real Talk Barbershop 870.
Let's get it.
With another one. And another one. Yes, sir.
Hey, man. You chill out, man.
Yeah.
Cause them Lakers won, man.
Hey, this is real talk.
Yes, sir. We got your boy, Preach Boy, in the building. We got the Motivator in the building. And we got JR, a.k.a. Mr. Rogers, in the building.
Yes, sir.
And we got four-time NBA champion, four-time MVP,
Who was that?
LeBron James in the building.
So he calling himself LeBron James today, y'all.
Big rodeo,
Big
man.
rodeo
You
in
know
the
what
building,
I'm talking
a.k.a.
He don't know who
LeBron
he is,
James.
man.
Oh, LeBron in the building, baby.
A.k.a.
How about
LeBron
the
James
Lakers?
in the building. Shout out to the Lakers, boy.
Yes,
I
sir.
thought you about to say Brown.
Yeah, it's your boy, Ro.
That's what's up, man. What you doing,
He just slipped his mind. We rolling. He thought he turned
still
the
rolling.
music go down, roll.
I seen the music go down.
You thought it was time. You thought it was game time. I thought it was
got
game time
music
too.
down, yeah.
I thought it was game time too.
I thought it was ready
You
to
know
go.
what
You
I'm
ain't touched the music yet.
It
kinda went down.
a little bit, just a little bit.
Keep the bloopers going.
Hey,
You know what I'm
roll
saying?
them.
He already know. He's all
Come on,
good.
man.
got that, D?
Let's
Yes,
get
sir.
it, man.
Yeah, it's your boy, Ro.
It's your boy, Preach Boy Spann.
It's your boy Bebe the Motivator.
And I am JR, aka Mr. Rods, and you're tuned in to
Real Talk Barbershop 870.
Let's get
Yes,
it.
sir.
You did?
Right on.
Yes, sir. We back.
How y'all feeling today, man?
Man, it's a-
Great.
Man, I'm feeling blessed.
Man, Rose
Same here.
came here already, man.
You hype. You don't know how you
Hey, man.
I love
Lakers
it.
won,
I love it.
man.
Hey, man.
I don't like them Lakers, but I like
LeBron
LeBron
This
James.
man don't win a
James.
I like
jersey
LeBron James. He got a
and
jersey
everything.
on.
LeBron James.
It's kind of little too.
Yeah.
I don't like LeBron James.
Don't
but
look like it's
I
no
like
real
the Lakers.
jersey either.
What it feel like? What it feel?
hey,
It feel
hey.
flimsy.
Yeah, that ain't no texture
Boy,
in
hey,
it.
boy, hey. I got this straight from Hibbits.
He got it from Heavy, y'all.
When he first went to the Lakers. So,
1999.
Hey, when he first went, he had number 23.
Hey, where did Hibbins get it from, though?
China. China. Everything come from China.
Yes, sir.
So, you know what I'm talking about?
That's what's up, man. What's up, everybody out there, man? Y'all in for another great
Yes.
episode. We super excited today, man, about our guests. We just super excited, man, just to be in front of y'all, man, with this consistency, man. Matter of fact, hey, y'all go like, subscribe, man, share our stuff, man. Follow
Yes,
us on
sir.
YouTube, Facebook, all social media outlets, man. Find us. Matter of fact,
TikTok.
put it up on the screen. It's right there on the screen. All right, go follow us.
Right now.
Go
Bibi,
follow
how you
us.
feeling today, man?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. You know,
Why you got them glasses on, man?
man. You know, it's just,
Motivator,
I'm in
fly guy.
motivation
What you feel
mode.
like today?
I'm in motivator mode today.
Fly guy.
Charles and White said people who wear shades on the inside is evil.
Oh my God. He don't even know how to come behind it.
Okay, coming from Charles and White, all right.
I got mine on, too.
He got some dark ones on over there too, though.
I guess I'm evil than a motherfucker then.
Oh, not evil.
You know, I knew how it was going to be, so I brought mine just in case.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
No doubt about it.
We like
They
it.
fly though.
Yeah, my
Fly
people,
guy.
man,
They fly.
You know, they Versace's, you know.
Versace.
Let me see. I want to see. I want to see.
They
Let me
Versace,
see.
they real.
Yeah.
I don't see.
I remember when
Sunglasses
you got them. We got
Yeah,
some
we got them
together.
together. Yeah, me and Preach Boy got them together for the Preach Boy
I don't know.
Yeah.
wedding thing.
For your
Yeah.
wig.
How much they cost?
They're about
I
four,
ain't gonna
almost
disclose.
five.
Come on, man.
Disclose the
Come
cost,
on.
man, you know, man. About
Big
four-
dollar.
four
They're about
something.
Look
almost
out.
five.
About 500.
Man, 500 for some shades.
Man, you know, man. Hey, when you
When you got it,
when you royalty, man, when
you
God
got
is
it,
your father,
when you got it,
you can have it. When
you
you,
can
got
spend
it,
$500 on
Hey,
shades.
bless-
I ain't got it.
Blessing just pour in.
We're going to talk
Just
about
pour
that
in.
in a minute. Because I don't think our guests think that's a good investment, $500 on shades.
I don't think it's a good investment for shades. Let me say that. My
Well,
opinion,
well,
but it's my
it
opinion.
wasn't
I
a
ain't,
good investment,
I ain't,
though.
yeah, I ain't tripping on
It was a good. It was a
They
look
fly.
good attack.
They
Because
fly.
mine and just like that, they scratched up and everything. They just like any other pair of
Which
shades.
I keep
Well-
mine in the case though.
Yeah, I mean, you better do it.
Keep him in the case.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Ready.
Locked in everything,
And
$500.
I got about 3 pairs.
Ooh.
Ooh,
that
you got $1,500 worth of glass.
All of them they cost $500, man. They're $299.
That's a quick math, right? Quick math.
That's quick.
Jay said, "Ooh."
That's a lot.
Jr. said, "Ooh."
$1,500.
for glass.
That's a lot, man.
Hey, man, hey, forget
Yeah,
all that,
yeah, let's
man.
get back
Let's
to the business,
introduce
man.
our guests, man. Look, Bebe, you go ahead and introduce our
Come on,
guests.
Bebe.
Man,
Motivator.
I just want to say this morning, man, we are honored, man. We're excited about this guest, man. Me and
sure.
this guy, we became close friends when I had my restaurant, Blue Plate. Man, he was one of my biggest supporters. As far as community goes, he would come, and man, he would come and buy food to take to different companies and stuff like that. So I learned marketing through this guy, man. When me and James had the Blue Plate, this is one of our biggest supporters, man.
Wow.
So he's also one of the biggest community guys that we know. He has a very, very, very successful business here in Blytheville. Him and his lovely wife and his family. At this time, we're gonna bring to you my friend, no other than Marcos Sierra from the Sierra Group. Let's give him a hand.
Yes,
y'all.
sir. Give it up for Marcus.
Give it up for Marcos.
How you feeling today, man?
Doing well. I came in. He came in with a hype. He got me sweating. I feel like I put on a jersey now. Going out I put on a basketball court, and he was trying to dunk on me the other day. That's how hyped he was. I said, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, that energy, man.
And so when you guys invited me over, like, man, I definitely got to come over.
Appreciate you,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Appreciate you.
Look, man, first of all, man, thank you for the gift. You the second person that bought us a gift.
Man, shout out to that.
Shout out to
that,
Marcus.
man. Shout out to Marcus on
Can you
that.
tell them about that right there? Because they don't know nothing about it.
So I got a plug.
He got a
Plug.
The plug.
Plug, yeah.
For sure.
Delta Liquors, Glen Ellis. I tell them every time you get something rare that's unique, give me a shout. So he calls me and he says, hey, man, there's this company. He says, Bone Tie. They got 5 bottles. It comes with specialty keys. They're all numbered. It's very hard to get all 5 bottles. He said, I got number 3. You want it? I said, absolutely. Hold it, put it to the side. Whenever I come over, I'll go ahead and get it. Well, my brother got married Friday, so I passed by, got some stuff for him. And he's like, hey, I have the one thing that I've been holding for you. Because I knew I was going to come see you guys. Yeah. So I put it over to the side, and I said, hey, well, what can I bring to individuals for them to remember me? That's how I always try to give my gifts.
Yeah.
Are they unique as the person that I am? And can they remember me for whatever I give them that's not generic, right?
Right.
So so that's how I do things whenever I try to introduce myself or show appreciation to hosts.
We definitely appreciate
Man, we
it.
appreciate
That's
it.
dope.
Yeah,
Man,
we
we
appreciate
surely
it,
appreciate
definitely,
you.
And let me ask, was that the only one you got? The only
one that they
So
had.
you don't have another one?
No, there's no other one.
We
So you
appreciate
gave us your last one.
That's
your
the
only
the
one.
only one, yeah.
The only
Man,
one.
shout out to that right there, man. That's big.
Shout out to Marco.
Man, we appreciate that, no doubt. That's
sure
real.
appreciate
That's
it.
real
Very
nice.
unselfish.
That's real nice.
Man, we were before the cameras rolled, man. We was talking about some very, very interesting stuff, man. You know, before we get to who Marcos is, man, I would like to kind of like, because I think our young people, and I think our community need to hear kind of what we was discussing, you know, prior to that, about dreams and ambitions and what our kids can become.
Yeah.
And you know, we was talking about the top 2 things our kids want to become was either a basketball player, NBA player, or either an entertainer.
Yeah.
Right.
And we got some interesting
Numbers.
dialogue
Yeah.
going with Marco. So we was kind of how can we?
And we started talking about this because we were talking about Ja.
We talking about Ja Morant.
Of course, everybody know what's going on with Ja. How y'all feel about that situation?
Man, it's sad to me that you get in trouble for the same thing
the same
back
thing.
to back
Back to back.
in less than 3 months.
What was his punishment last time?
A slap on the wrist, 8 games.
Yeah, you got like
8 games.
You know what I'm saying? 8 games, you know,
It was
for
8 games.
banishing the gun, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying, in a live video.
In the
And then he
strip club,
came
too.
right back today, you know what I'm saying, and did the same thing.
Oh, he did some shit today.
You didn't see it?
Yeah.
Well, I ain't seen it.
Do y'all think it's
Yeah,
Ja?
he got hit with another incident today. Showing the gun.
On live, yeah.
On live, you know what I'm saying? So they finna, you know, it's a terrible situation. Let's say that.
So,
purple.
do y'all think he's taking that Memphis mentality to like with the NBA with him? Like, you know,
I got to jump in on that,
Come on.
man, because this is what I'll think. That's what I think. First of all, is he the only athlete doing that? No. Okay, let's just clear that up. No. Now, is he the only athlete that wants to be seen doing that? I believe it's yes.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
And so that's a whole different thing, right? When you think about the Tiger Woods, remember when he got caught with 18 different women and all these things? All that happened for almost a decade.
Right.
Yeah.
Before
Right.
it came out. So
Right.
he was very discreet. He had a discreet. So let's start with that. Do we know if LeBron James parties? I'm sure he does, but he has a team around him that protects him.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's what it's about.
That's right.
You know, does he have the right team? I don't believe he has the right team. That's one. 2, we talked about the gun.
Mhm.
It's Memphis. It's dangerous, right? But he's also a millionaire, multi-millionaire, a face of an organization.
Absolutely.
And he's about to be able to make hundreds of more than that, millions of dollars in the next 10, 15, 20 years.
Correct.
200 million. There's
Yeah.
like 200 million, right?
Yep.
So you're telling me that he cannot afford to be able to have 1 or 2 24-hour security team around him? Come on now.
Right.
Why does he have to carry that?
There you go.
That would definitely make sense.
Have you seen Steph Curry, LeBron, anybody that's a high tier basketball player with a gun? I have not.
I have not. Not no superstar like that.
Yeah. Because there's no
superstar.
need.
Right.
Because they have the right team.
Right.
And again, it just goes back to, do you have the right individuals around you? We talked about yes men. Or do you have a bunch of yes guys that just nod and do a group thing?
Yeah, just do whatever you
Yeah.
want.
And,
that all day.
yeah, and no
That's
doubt
it.
about it. Go ahead, B.
And you know, like we talking about high caliber and high tier basketball players. So you already know, money change people. You know, Yo Gotti said it best. Gotti said money change people around people.
Yes,
you know what
sir.
I mean? Money don't just change me when I get it. Money change people that hang with me.
Right.
Because you know what I mean. So you think about, as Mark said, you got yes men, and we said earlier that they probably weren't yes men at first.
Before. No.
Yeah.
no
They
doubt
probably
about
weren't
it.
yes men before the money came. When the money came, they like, oh, no, we looking at Ja, man. I love Ja, man. He one of my favorite players. I love the young guy. Man, dude was awesome, explosive. But we got to think about this, man. You got a career in front of you. You got a chance that all of us, we just got to talk about numbers. Man, you got a chance that some of us brothers rarely going to get.
And one thing about it too, he not only is he just in the NBA, but he a superstar.
Superstar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a whole different level.
Well, think about it. There's,
You know-
there's 32 teams, so there's 32 people that are franchise faces.
There you go.
So there's 32 individuals in the entire world. He's one of 32.
One of 32.
One of
One of
32
32
when it comes
out
to
of 8
franchise
billion
faces.
people.
Come on now.
In the world.
Come on now.
Think about that.
Yeah.
So he's one of 32 and 8 billion people in the entire world. So you're not only like 1%, you're 1% of 1% of 1% of. You can keep
Come
going
on now.
there, right?
Come on.
Yeah.
So do people understand who they are, right? And do they understand the responsibility that comes behind who they are and what they are and what they represent?
Gotcha.
Right.
We talked about this before the cameras rolled. Is now you're going to have individuals, whether it be marketing agencies and advertising agencies and all these companies, saying, do we really want to be associated with that?
Yes.
Right.
Or now you got marketing directors saying, hey, look, I told you so.
I
And
told
give
you
the
so.
money. Or now you got an NBA executive saying, you see what happens? Right? And then there's a higher, you could keep digging, right? We have, well, how come there's not NBA owners? How come there's not NBA executives? How come, same thing with the NFL.
People
There's
of
people that
color.
are showing this, like, this is what happens.
Right.
This is what happens.
Right.
And there's a consequential damage that goes beyond that a lot of these people do not understand when they represent not only an organization, but people that look like them.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
You know, so
Right.
so that's the unfortunate for me that's the way I look at it. Whenever it comes to branding, is how are you representing yourself 24/7? And we talked about, can you do it consistently? And then can you be disciplined enough to continue to say no to the things that even, you know, you might want to do, but do not necessarily have a higher meaning, have a higher value for yourself and for those that you represent.
Man, discipline is a big word, man. I think that's one of the things that people, it's hard to be disciplined when you get that much money at that age of 23,
Yeah.
when you don't have anybody that's in your ear telling you, man, bro, you know, you shouldn't do this. Or would you watch yourself when you do this? You know, a parent or somebody that you can say, man, I'm gonna listen to this man because I respect him.
Right.
Right.
But
know
you know,
what I'm
Or like like Mark said, the team you surround, it's who you surround yourself with. Like we talk all the time about our group, our crew. You know, we're gonna protect one another.
True.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna protect our image, names. Not saying that we're doing things out there to damage our image, but if we do, we're gonna check one another.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Just like Chavis just check Rob at the time.
Right.
You know, that's something funny that we
yeah,
do.
yeah,
But I'm talking in reality, we're not gonna let each other crash. You know what I mean?
Right.
and that was the whole point. That's the root of it is the accountability, but also goes back to how do you handle, because I'm a big believer that friction is good. Friction creates growth.
Yeah, friction
Yeah.
is real good.
It is
Yeah.
phenomenal for development.
Yeah.
But if you are growing up without that friction, or you only have yes people around you, and you don't have that, because let's name it, none of us here are perfect. We all make sometimes
go.
stupid mistakes or stupid decisions.
Might well be honest.
Yeah, let's call it what it is. But we all need somebody to say, hey, let me put you to the side. What do you think about this? How do you think it's going to affect? What's the long-term consequence of this? Thank you. Right? And are we receptive to that constructive criticism? And that's why I appreciate you guys here, that the way you've handled this platform is, even you call it checking yourself. I call it constructive criticism.
It's good.
It's good for us to be able to have individuals that are pull us to the side and say, hey, maybe this is not the best way.
Yeah.
Yo, this your boy Bebe, the motivator. And this episode of Real Talk Barbershop 870 is sponsored by Gillespie Insurance Group, where we make your personal lines and your commercial lines come together to decrease your risk. Look, I'm at a new location, 801 West Moultrie in the magnificent city of Blytheville, Arkansas. Here's my number, 870-623-4742. I repeat, 870-623-4742. If you're not with GIG, see ya, and I wouldn't want to be. Yeah.
That's good, man.
And also got your best interest, you know what I'm saying? So when they say something to you, that's all the love.
So leading from the job situation, then we got to talking about our young people making choices, and a lot of our young black brothers, their number one goal is to what?
Become an NBA player or a rapper.
NFL.
Or a rapper.
Yeah.
All that. you
Which
know.
is not a realistic dream for most of them, right?
Right.
Let's talk about it. Why?
Because we got data.
Yeah.
Shoot the dot out.
Yeah. So I'm a numbers person, and I do a lot of reverse engineering. I look at P&Ls, balance sheets, every single day.
You say you do a lot of what?
Look at P&Ls, profit and loss, balance sheets, cash
Yeah.
flow analysis, accounts receivable. I look at that every single day.
Wow.
For sure.
Right? That dictates how we make decisions. So we take the feeling out, and we focus strictly on facts.
On facts.
So whenever we develop our staff, it's strictly on how do we analyze data and then make short and long-term decisions based on facts, not what we feel.
Right.
And so it goes everything against what we're taught in school with our parents, right? Because we're told to follow your passion, what feels good, all these things. At the end of the day, passion doesn't pay the bills.
That's right.
So,
Right on.
so
Right on.
going back to the numbers, when there's times where I go to Chavis to get a haircut, and there might be a coach or an athlete, and the number one topic that comes up is, like you mentioned, everybody wants to be a ball player.
Yep.
Everybody wants to be a ball player, and I had to gather data because we did the Ready Pro for these athletes that wanted to learn how to be able to interview. And if you look, and anybody that's out there on camera right now, I challenge you to do this. Go to your Safari. Go to your Safari right now and Google how many NBA players have been in NBA history.
In the history.
In the history since
Day one.
Day one.
History now.
Day
History.
one. We
Not
get
now.
anywhere from 10 to 20,000 people.
Right.
And it's actually 4,000 and some change, below 5,000. In
Below
the entire
5,000.
In
history.
history.
Now
In the
say that
history.
again so they can
Below
understand.
5,000
People.
individuals since the history of the NBA.
Ever.
So think about that. And then when you look at the current NBA, there's less than 500 players.
Yes.
Every single year in a roster, less than 500 players.
Yes.
Right.
Then let's do some more reverse engineering. Let's talk about the men's basketball players are there in collegiate sports and NCAA, all divisions.
All the business
All
college.
college.
It's a little over
Basketball.
500,000.
500,000.
500,000.
Right.
Oh, I apologize. Over 40,000. And then out of high school sports, over 500,000.
500,000.
Okay.
Right.
So you got 500,000 high school kids wanting to get 40,000 scholarships to get 500 jobs.
Run it.
Numbers don't add, so-
Run
so-
it.
so
Run
you-
it.
so-
Run
so-
it back.
so we'll
run
do it again.
Run it back.
We'll do it
Run
again.
back.
You got over 500,000
High school.
High school
high school
basketball players.
trying to get 40,000
Scholarship.
scholarships
Look at them numbers
To
on
get-
the screen now. Look
to
at
get
them.
500 jobs
To get
500 jobs.
in the NBA.
in the NBA. And then everybody's told, hey, you can do it. Because this is what happens,
It's
guys.
crazy.
And I want to tell this to the black kid, to the Hispanic kid, to any kid that's out there. It's easier to sell a pipe dream to those that believe in the pipe dream. Okay? This is a business. Basketball's a business. Football's a business. Everything's a business. Okay?
Absolutely.
So even for us in the business world, it's easier to sell a course to the salesperson because they're trying to get rich quick, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
you
So,
Right.
so what happens is that all these kids, what happens, they invest in the tournaments and the summers. They invest money that they don't have because they believe that they're going to get to D1, and eventually after D1, they're going to get to the NBA and they're going to cash out. And then on top of that, look at also the data for the NBA. What is the average career span of an NBA player? It's 4 years.
4 years.
So you got 500,000 individuals in high school trying to get 40,000 scholarships to get 500 jobs. They're gonna last 4 years.
Boy,
Man, y'all see them
that's
numbers on the
unbelievable.
screen.
That's unbelievable, though.
You know,
That's crazy.
So then we look at these kids that go back and become either a high school coach, you know, or they're broke, and we're like, well, what happened? Well, you didn't look at analyze the data. You didn't go based on facts. You go based on heart and feeling.
Right.
And that's where I believe us as minorities, unfortunately, focus too much on what we feel and want to assume and want so bad to be real, and we don't want to accept the true facts of what the data tells us. Right. So what does that mean? If I were to ask anybody that's right now on the screen, who won the NBA championship 10 years ago? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know why? Because the focus on this year and next. Who was the
year and next.
Yeah, who was the champion for Arkansas State 5A sports or basketball sports 7 years ago? Who cares? Because now we're worried about the next year.
Right.
You know, how many professional basketball players or football players or athletes have come out of Blytheville Athletics? 1, 2?
What is
True.
1, 2?
I don't think it's.
Yeah, 1 or 2. And then we were talking about that over
Just
100.
going D1. That's what you're saying.
No, professional.
Oh man.
You see what I'm saying? So the numbers are there.
I think 0.
The numbers are there.
I think.
What you talking about? Parnell?
Parnell.
He came out of Gosman.
But I mean,
But it's saying the area though.
yeah.
No. Just at the high school,
You said
whatever high
Bible
school you
high
belong
school.
to,
Yeah.
whatever high school you may belong to.
That's the only one I
All right,
know.
but then what happens? Guys? Let's look at the root issue, and I've had this conversation with Sandy. You know, and I don't mean that no disrespect by what I'm about to say. We just invested millions of dollars in a new basketball gym, which is great and brought a lot of people in, so on and so forth. But you're going to tell me we're going to have millions of dollars in investment so 15 players can be able to enjoy 2 games a week? That's where's the ROI in that? Where's the return on investment on that? You know, so.
Wow.
But where's the money going though?
Athletics.
Who's getting it though? Call it what it is. Who's getting the money?
Tell us who's getting the money.
School.
Yeah, who getting it?
No, who gets paid?
Shit. The administrating building. What? I mean, people.
The athletic director, the
Yeah.
basketball coach. They're the only ones getting paid.
True. Wow.
The company that built the stadium,
They got paid.
they got paid. And now you got a bunch of. I would challenge. I challenge you this because I did this to my 11-year-old. I did this to my 11-year-old. When you get a chance, Google a definition of entertainer. Google a definition of entertainer. I mean that. It's an athlete, right?
I got a chance right now.
Go on,
It's
Google
an
it.
Yeah. Google
Go
it
on,
and
Google
read
it.
it.
Google it.
Okay. Well, what is the? Ask Siri. You know, let's ask Siri. Siri, what is the definition of an entertainer? A person such as singer, dancer, or comedian whose job is to entertain others.
Okay.
Okay. That's an athlete, a clown, a circus.
True.
It's true. It's true.
Talk facts.
You talking
Right?
real talk.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yes, sir.
Whenever I go and see Ja, you know why I want to go see him?
Because he's
He's a
gonna
great
entertain
entertainer.
you.
He'll entertain me. I
Yeah.
want him to make me laugh and smile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm there to pay, jump high, and see what you can do with the ball.
You sure right.
You know?
I want to see it.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah,
That's
so
what
you
I'm
can
there.
say,
we all want to see.
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm
Dunk
there.
on
Man, you
somebody.
saw that? 'Cause
Yeah.
That's what I'm there for.
I was in the building.
The same feeling that whenever I go see the Ringley Brothers Circus.
Circus.
That's what I want to see. Give me some flips and acrobatics.
He called us
Yeah.
Acrobatics. That's what I want. Whenever I go see a football team, hey, show me you can run fast through a wall
Yeah.
that's going to mess up your brain after 3 years. You know what I mean? Entertain me. Entertain me. That's what I'm there for. But are we hyper aware of that? We're not. We're not. Because all these kids are, are brainwashed, since they're at Pee Wee football and AAU sports, and then they identify. What's interesting is that whenever I did that Ready Pro and then mock interviews with high school athletes,
Okay.
I asked them, so who are you? Oh, I'm a basketball player. I'm a football player. And then I asked them, okay, so what have you done to get good at what you do? Oh, I wake up early. I do this. I go to after day workouts, 2 days, blah blah blah. Okay, so what if this doesn't work out? Oh, it's gonna work out. I got a plan. I'm going to D1,
no backup plan.
and then I'm going to go to JUCO, and then D1, and then because of my energy, I'm going to make it to the NBA. So I asked them. I said, "There's 8 million people and 500 athletes that make it to the NBA. What are you doing that's better and greater than 8 million other people right now in the world?"
And
They want to get to the NBA.
Yeah.
Same
No,
dream
just
you
in
got.
general, because again, there's 500 NBA players out of the 8 billion population.
Got you.
So they're uniquely doing something, either from physical talent or developed talent. But what are you doing right now that will make you one of the 500? Like, what is so
Unique about
unique
Right.
about what you're currently doing?
I got you.
Right? Because whatever you're doing, I promise you this, there's 100,000 other kids doing that.
That's doing the exact same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
that
and
you
they're
do.
going to make it.
You're right.
And they're not gonna make
They're
it.
going to make it.
Wow.
You're right.
You know?
So the bottom line is you got out of 500,000 athletes in high school, basketball players.
Correct.
Only 500 of y'all, less than 500 of y'all, will actually become an NBA player.
Correct.
Now we got the other 450,000 or whatever that number is that's stuck with no backup plan.
Correct.
Hey,
Correct. So,
we got to start looking at
so
facts,
but
y'all.
here's what happens, though.
deep.
Here's what happens, though. Those athletes already have the discipline. The unfortunate thing is that they focus so much on this sport. So this is what I mean. If they identify as who are you? If they were to say, I'm a disciplined person that knows how to lead, that knows how to be able to show commitment towards one thing, and I happen to just do basketball, they could shift that whole mentality towards
Wow.
business, towards a career, towards
Wow.
school.
I like that perspective.
See what I'm saying?
No doubt.
They're able to shift that, but their identity becomes the sport
Just the sport.
or just that one thing. So then they can't change
Wow.
the perspective towards anything else. It's similar to that old saying, there's a reason why businessmen can be successful in any type of business, because business is business is business.
Business is business.
So they understand that if they can show their commitment, if they can develop teams, if they can, we talked about a vision, if they can sell the vision,
Man, that's good.
and then be able to properly systemize the mission, it could be this business, or it could be this business, or it could be that business. They're going to be successful in anything they do. And the thing is, a lot of these athletes, especially we're talking about black athletes, they have that. Unfortunately, it's the lack of identity that they lose it once they lose the sport.
Right. Because
So
they're
they
looking
lose
at
themselves.
themselves as a basketball player.
So they lose themselves if they don't make it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
what happens.
Because
That
they
makes
just
sense.
looking at
That makes
themselves as a
sense.
basketball
That makes
player,
sense.
other than I'm a disciplined person that chose to play basketball.
That's it.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you just get down on yourself for the most part.
Basketball was
Yeah.
an alternative, but not my first, because I'm a disciplined person.
Yeah, that's a primary. Correct. That's the craft. Can you be consistent and can you be disciplined, right? Or and those two go together. You just happen to use that for the sport, and then when that doesn't work out, you happen to use that for business or for your career.
Gotcha.
So I got a question for all y'all. Why do y'all think that's the main thing that our kids want to do? Play
Easy.
ball or entertain?
That's easy, man. From the outside looking in, the culture. The culture pushes that. Culture pushes that. You look at the music. You look at the videos. It's celebrated.
The lifestyle.
The lifestyle. Even for me, I cringe on like the House of Highlights whenever they show a dunk or a poster. You know, for me, show me the a strategic change that a coach that or a team did to be able to go into a pick and roll, a basic, analytical perspective from a coach's viewpoint. Show me that.
That's boring though. That's why they ain't
Exactly.
showing
That's it. Because
they
it's
roll.
boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's boring.
Yeah.
And so what happens is that everybody wants to do the dunk. Everybody wants to shoot the three. Tell me of a player that is, you know what? I want to guard the best player. You know,
Defender.
I want to defend. I want to block. I want to stop. I want to do the screens. I want to have the most assists. Why? Because that's not celebrated.
Yeah.
That's not celebrated.
Flash.
When you see the commercial, you don't. They ain't showing the assists. They
showing
showing the.
Yeah.
They ain't showing Tim
Yeah.
Duncans out there.
No.
Yeah.
What was your question again?
Hey, what up, world? It's your boy, Preacher Boy, man. I had to pause a second and let you know that this episode of Real Talk Barbershop 870 is sponsored by no other than Impeccable Cuts. Listen, you heard me right, Impeccable Cuts. If you got a big day coming up and you need to look and feel your best, be sure to book with Impeccable Cuts and jump in that hot seat, man. Treat yourself by booking your next chop, your hot towel experience, or even your relaxing facial at bookthecut.co/preachboy. That's bookthecut.co/preachboy. All the information, the address, and the phone number on the screen, man. Listen, if you need to look your best, do your job and book, and I'll do the rest. Get impeccable.
Why do y'all think that's like the main thing like our
people
kids
wanna
want to be?
Yeah, it's the culture. Like you said, the
Yeah,
culture.
that's what I personally
and
believe.
that makes sense.
Go ahead, James.
They make a lot of sense, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times that's all we celebrate is entertaining or sports
That's
or something
it.
of that nature there. And then a lot of times too, we ain't even showing kids another way outside of that. So you don't see successful people of color that are
That's what I was gonna
lawyers
say.
or doctors or anything other than that.
That right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So anytime you seeing the athletes with the money, the entertainers with the money, right? It's natural for a child that's 12 years old to steer
want-
towards
yeah.
that, right? You know what I'm saying? Rather than if I got a successful business, B got a successful business, Marcus got a successful business, Spann, Roe got all us got successful business, and we can show that or even explain that to these children that, man, you can have this if you do this.
Right.
You giving them a different lane.
Right.
But it's not enough of that.
But he
Man,
said it though. He said it's boring.
It's boring.
It's boring.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't see the actual doctors going out there doing this.
True.
You know, you don't see them in the strip club spending money like that. You don't see them driving, a Mercedes-Benz Maybach, because these guys are intelligent. They're gonna invest their money.
They putting their money in
They're
different
putting.
spots.
They want to see return on investment.
Yeah.
They're intelligent individuals.
Yeah.
And they look at data.
Wow.
And then you got to look at what James was saying. We got a group. We got a culture of people that never had nothing.
True.
Yep.
That never had nothing
For
years.
years.
For years.
You know what I'm saying?
They never had nothing. Now they got something that they never had before.
So what do you think they're gonna do?
So,
with
so
it?
they gonna splurge.
Everything.
They gonna splurge. So like you
Everything
think
they
about
never had.
you think about from my perspective when I started going to when I turned to the streets and started selling drugs. You know who I saw? You know who I saw winning?
The drug
The
dealers.
drug dealer.
Yeah.
So you know the
That's
culture.
everything.
The drug dealer is the one that got the chain.
True.
He got the women.
True.
He got the cars.
He got the
He
money.
looked like me.
Yes, sir.
I didn't see a Charles Best at that time. A guy at Newcourt. I didn't see a Tracy Adams.
A Pronto.
Yo, I
Butch.
didn't see a Butch Prunty at that time. I saw who I saw.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's who the majority of us saw. So then now you got to redevelop your mindset and see a Marcos, to see a Butch, to realize that, you know what, I don't got to win illegally. I don't got to win because I can bounce a ball. I don't got to win because I can twist some words up and sound and degrade a woman and talk about a lot of drugs.
You talking, B?
You know what I mean?
You talking.
Now I can win because I see these people. I see a Spann. I see a J-Ro with his lawn service. I see a James with a trucking service. I see a Bebe with an insurance company. Now I don't got to twist words. I don't got to bounce the ball. I can use my mind.
Here's
know what I mean?
here's the thing though. I've talked about this with you, Sandy, multiple times in regards to, if you look at the demographics, and I welcome anybody that's from Mississippi County, especially from Blybo and Osceola, Google the demographic from your town. The population for Blytheville, the last time that I checked, I believe it's 67% African American and 65 African American in Osceola. So that means that out of 100 people, 67 are black. Okay?
Right.
Where are they spending their money?
Not with each other.
Okay, that's one. And two, then let's go deeper. Why not? Right? So
No trust.
you are the biggest purchasing
Consumers.
block in consumer, correct? Of your city,
Talk about
of your town, and that money is going elsewhere.
Wow.
You know, so whenever I look at the demographic, and again, I'm very analytical.
Yeah.
I've come up to you and,
Yeah,
and
we talk.
Monty and to yourself, and I'm like, man,
Absolutely.
it doesn't make sense that. And then I look from my perspective, the Hispanic American. We make up less than 5% of the population, but yet we dominate the service industry. Look at all the construction people. You know, look at the service. Go look out there to Big River Steel in Newport. Who's building that?
Trust it.
You know?
Yes.
And then look at what we're doing with our money. We're willing to live 10 people deep in a house so we could be able to save. We could be able to invest. We can make sure that we have our debt is under control. We buy our stuff cash, and then we're able to go out there and dominate. Look at what the Indian American is doing.
Talk about
whenever it comes to
It's
the
good stuff.
whenever it comes to the hotels.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
Come
they
on.
own them. They own them. They're willing to live in them. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
be owner operators, right?
Owner operators.
And these are individuals that like myself, we came into this country not knowing the language or the culture, but when we looked around, we were what I always consider this. We were brought from the wild and put inside the zoo with a bunch of zoo cubs. But we're just gonna we're gonna dominate.
Right.
We're gonna dominate.
So you run from the wild
That's
and
good
put it in
stuff.
the zoo.
And
And
you
you
know,
gonna
so
dominate.
we're gonna dominate. We're gonna eat
You
everybody
came from the
alive.
wild.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah,
That's
so
good
so
shit.
we're
Come on, man.
we're coming from third world countries, right? And that is not just Mexican Americans or Central Americans, but also the Asians. Look at the Asians as well, how they dominate the financial world, the real estate world. You know, there's a restaurant in every single city that I know, and there's only 10 of them in the entire city. You know, so what is it that immigrants are doing? And it goes back to the perspective as well. The perspective, man, is so powerful. It's extremely powerful. I could tell you guys right now when I knew that I was going to make it in the U.S. And I've told this story many times to many athletes and many students. It's the first day that I went to school. Like I knew, like, oh, I've made it. I'm going to be wealthy. I'm going to eat everybody alive. And that was simply for one day. You know, I got smuggled into the U.S. in back of a car. It was an old Ford Escort. They took the emergency wheel in the back out, put me in there, covered it up, put a bunch of stuff in the back. And I got smuggled. I almost died of dehydration.
Really?
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah, man. I didn't
Wow.
meet my mom until I was 8.
I ain't
You know, my
know
mom
that.
came to the U.S. She smuggled herself over here to come and try to find a better life in the U.S. And a worse day in the U.S. is still a better day in a third world country, and people don't
Wow.
understand that.
Wow.
So
Wow.
there's no government help in third world countries, man. If you work, you eat. If you don't work, you starve. Plain and simple.
No help.
There-
No
there-
government
there-
assistance.
There ain't none of that. There's third world countries are extremely corrupt.
Wow.
So when it comes to that, you know, the next day I'm taken to Santa Rosa Elementary School, and you know, met my mother the night before, and I get taken to the school with my grandmother and my mother. I don't know any English, right? I'm 8 years old, and I'm being registered, and the first thing I want to know is how much is it going to cost? See, because back when I was 6, 7 years old, my grandparents had to save money to pay tuition. And I remember one time, and over there in the grading system in Mexico was from 1 through 10. Here, like similar to 0 through 100, it's 1 through 10. If you got a 9, that's equivalent to a 90, 880, right? And I remember I brought a 7 home, and my grandfather beat the dog crap out of me. And I remember I was 7. I'll never forget it. He said, "You're embarrassing the investment that I'm putting in you. You're embarrassing my name, and you're embarrassing yourself. And the sacrifice that I'm doing for you." I was 7, and that stuck with me to this day. To this day. And so whenever I came to the U.S. and I'm seeing them register me, I'm like, I wonder what the investment is going to be for me to go to this American school. And then, boom, it's free.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, they're so rich here.
That they let you go to school
That's free. I'm like, whoa, it's like the U.S. is so rich, like I've heard, that it's
free.
free.
You can go to school free.
And they gave me
Like I've heard.
yeah, like I've heard, yeah, like I've heard, yeah. Because again, what people are willing to die to come over here for that opportunity.
Wow.
So what happens? They give me this tour guide, Hector. I still keep in touch with him, by the way, to this day. And bilingual kid, and he says, "Hey, before I give you a tour, let's go get some breakfast." And I'm like, the street in me came out like, no, I'm not hungry. You know, I'm good, because I didn't have any money.
Right.
And he's like, "No, don't worry about it. Breakfast is free. I was like, what? like they got so much money. Breakfast is free. Like, my goodness.
Wow.
And yeah, my goodness, right?
Wow.
And I traveled, guys. You see, I traveled all over the world.
You
Guys.
sure do.
I traveled all over the world, and there has been no better pizza in my life than that first pizza. You know, remember that khaki tray, plastic tray, the rectangle? Yeah.
Well, that's
the
cool
rectangle.
pizza, boy.
That's cool. Pizza,
And I remember, you know, you get your milk or chocolate milk, banana or the orange, and I'm there eating, and as I'm eating it, I'm seeing all these kids going, ew, and then throwing away, you know, half drank orange juices, half drank chocolate milks, having pizzas, and all I'm thinking about in that trash is, man, I could have taken that to my old school, and I could have fed my entire school.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
Man,
And then what happens? You go to class. South Texas, I'm not sure if you guys know, it's 100 degrees outside every single day. And you got kids inside wearing cardigans because it's cold. And I had to get my sleeves inside because I was cold. I was like, man, they're so rich in here that it's cold inside. Man, it gets cold inside, even though it's 100 degrees outside. When back there in Mexico, you know, the class that had the fan, you know, that's a cool class. You know, and in Mexico, we were given our chores. You know, we had to sweep and mop our own class. We had to dust it, and we had to do all those things. We had to clean the bathrooms, and we were 7 years old, 8 years old. Wow. So we come to here, and I'm like, wow. You go to PE, and you get basketball to play with and soccer balls. And back where we were at, you know, the person that had the soccer ball, he was the king. Because he was going to either let you play with it or you had to be on the sideline while everybody else played. And so I was like, wow, like they're so rich. They got all types of balls for everybody to play. And then at the end, they ask you, you know, do you need a ride? Because if you do, we got a buzz. Like, wow. They're so rich.
They got a bus.
They got free transportation. Because over there, you had to pay.
Wow.
You know?
God.
Wow.
So I remember I walked home for like a 2-mile walk. And I was like, I'm wealthy. I made it. And we lived in a double wide with 5 people. And I was like, I made it. I'm done. Like, from now on, straight to the top. And from there on, you know, I knew it. Yeah, I worked summers mowing yards. I worked summers being a cutter during construction. And we were extremely poor, but we were extremely wealthy. And strictly because of the opportunities that came with being in this country. So the perspective that I tell everybody else is, while everybody a lot of the times complains whether the cup, you know, and I'll put this right here, is whether it's half full or half empty. We as immigrants don't view that problem, because you have one whole section of the population saying it's half full and one whole section saying it's half empty. We're the opportunists. We drink the water while you guys are arguing.
no matter what it is.
No matter what it is. Yeah, we're drinking it. We're taking advantage of the opportunity.
Wow.
So, because of the perspective where we come from, that even a bad day in the U.S. is better than the best day where we come from.
Wow.
Stay home.
Man.
Yeah.
So, man, look, check this out.
That's dope, man.
With all this being said and all this knowledge you throwing out here, man, these people won't know who you are, man. We gotta
Yeah,
tell
let's talk about you. Right.
we gotta tell these people who we talking to,
Right.
man, that's giving them all this knowledge.
All right.
Who are you?
All right. My name is Marco Sierra.
Okay.
I protect millions of dollars of real estate property doing America's third most dangerous job. I'm a roofing contractor. Along with that, we have a great portfolio of real estate investments.
Yeah.
And we're currently transitioning into the manufacturing side in the metal side. So we currently employ over 40 employees on our business whenever it comes to the roofing and manufacturing. We just are in the middle of moving to a 35,000 square foot building.
Okay.
Wow.
Your
And
business.
Our business, correct.
Okay.
We started from the back of our garage.
Wow.
It's smaller than this, by the way. And we had a vision, talking about a vision. I looked around, and every contractor here was over 50, 60 years old. And I said, you know, in 10 years, they're not going to be here. Again, it's just mathematics. And I said, if I can start getting that learning curve, some people call it the suck curve, you know, because once you do something, there's a dip. And then I could be able to learn the business side, and then bring in individuals that I could be able to develop.
Gotcha.
Within 3 to 5 years, we'll be fine. My wife was the first one that said, "Hey, listen, I'm tired of you talking about it. Either you do it or you don't." And she is a very intense person. She is, and I appreciate her to this day for it. And she said, "Look, either you do it now or you're never gonna do it." So, quit my job, went all in, lost a lot of money the first year and a half, probably about $200,000. But it was a mind shift. And I'll never forget whenever I was down and she took me to the side, she said, "Listen, the way I see it is we didn't lose $200,000. We bought a $200,000 lesson." And so when I changed that mind shift, man, whether year 3, 4, and now 5 and 6, we've grown it to $7.3 million business last year.
That's awesome, man.
Give it a flip.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, that made you
Flip
feel
it. No doubt.
Yeah.
That's outstanding.
Yeah. And we outgrew our office. We were at where we moved in about a year and a half ago. We outgrew it. So now we had to make a decision of where we're going to go for our permanent headquarters going forward.
Okay.
Yeah. But it goes back to, we talk about building a team. To anybody out there, the best advice that I had and that I've learned when I speak with individuals that are extremely successful is who you get married to is the most important financial decision you're ever going to make in your life.
Wow, man. Look out now.
Wow. Man,
Look
listen
out
here.
now, man. Say it.
job.
Just
Yeah.
say it one more time so they just
I
in
ain't
case they
never
missed
heard
it.
that, but that just hit me so.
It hit me
Yeah.
hard too.
Yeah, whoever you marry, whoever you choose to marry, and whoever you choose to especially have start children with, is the biggest financial decision you make in your life. Period. Period.
Man, he told me that before.
And so I've been blessed to be able to have a phenomenal, strong person by my side. And even when there's times that all of us, we get our heads down.
That's right.
Yes.
She
all of
there.
us do it.
She there.
She's like,
Gonna
hey,
push you.
she's like, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Get your head up.
Motivation.
She just remind you.
She don't
of who
play.
you are. Yeah.
Well, she has a phenomenal thing of she's like, who do you think you are right now? And that reminds me of the vision and the mission, right? Who do you think you are to be selfish to only be thinking about yourself?
Wow.
And that is a lot of times we talk about, do we have somebody that can check us?
Yeah.
And that's extremely important. But also somebody that's willing to take the sacrifices. A lot of guys right now out there want to be many things, but they have a wife saying, hey, when are you going to come home? When are we going to do this? When are we going to do that? And it creates a drag. Instead of a boat going this way, you're dragging an anchor. It's dragging you back. So instead of having a twin turbo, you're a one engine dragging an anchor.
Wow.
That engine burns out. So that's
Anchor gonna burn that engine out.
You know that.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. We'd rather be twin turbos, knowing where we're going, what direction we're going.
Twin turbos.
Yeah.
Twin.
Two powerful motors.
Right. Yeah.
Going in the same direction.
What's happening, y'all? This your boy Ro, and this episode of RTB 870 is sponsored by Jacob's Lawn Service. We licensed and insured. We do commercial and residential. When you don't want to get out there and cut that grass, give your boy that cash. Hey, and we got affordable prices. We're here to take care of all your lawn needs. So give your boy a call at 870-740-8534. That's 870-740-8534. You dig?
That's it.
And man, we was just talking about this on our last episode about, man, Marco.
Support.
Man,
Yeah,
bruh. Because hold on,
Go ahead. No,
you
go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
Because the thing about it, like you just said, like when you having that day, that down day, and you know what I'm saying, you got your head down, she come in and check, like, what the hell wrong with you?
Yeah.
Get your ass up.
Yeah.
Let's get back on this horse and get this shit done.
Who do you think you are right now?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Like-
who do you think you are to be selfish to only be thinking about yourself right
I
now?
like that
Only
shit,
think about
man.
yourself
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Boy, that's so,
She
man,
says,
that's
she's like, there's
drop on
45
me.
individuals right now, 45 families that are relying on you. Who do you think you are right now to be only thinking about
Wow. You said it's 45 families
you? Yeah.
Hey,
That's how we see
that
it.
rely on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
got
who do
an
you think you are to be
incredible
running
wife,
over you?
man.
Yeah.
He do got an incredible. I was gonna say,
incredible wife.
Shout out to that, man.
I got to give it to Sandy, though, because Sandy deals directly with her.
man, that why she tough.
Is she tough? Is she tough? B?
Boy, she don't. But she the twin. She the motor.
Yeah.
I mean, she just. I mean,
Twin
she,
turbo.
she take a lot off this guy, man.
Yeah, she does.
You know what I mean? She take, when we first started, we were kind of rocking. But we got to know each other now, so I know when she hit me, I know, we could deal with each other, man.
She direct,
I'm like,
isn't she?
Yeah, oh, she direct, man. She's stern.
Yeah.
She's very stern.
Yeah.
She's
Shout
very
out to
stern,
that, man.
So,
Like,
yeah,
that's outstanding.
She's a very, but she's also a nice lady.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
She's a nice lady, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But she about business.
Yeah.
She about business. She gonna make sure their business survive.
Yeah.
And thrive at it. She gonna
And
make sure.
for any business, the one thing that people do not realize is that people only want to talk about the revenue and what's the net. And that usually is extremely important when you're going through the startup or the growth stage of your business. But once you're going, or your startup and survival, but after that you're going through the growth side of the business. When that happens, you got to think about two very important things. That's risk and liability.
Okay.
And that's what she handles.
Yeah.
So she handles risk, liability, HR, and accounting. So we're talking about the twin boat, right? Where can we hit an iceberg? When's the wave coming? Do we have a plan? Are we protected? Do we have the right individuals on the boat? Do we have the right direction? Are we prepared in case of a storm? So there's all these things that go into really having somebody by your side that you can be able to, like you said, put off on them and have a peace of mind that they're going to take care of it.
Man, that's excellent.
Man,
Man.
Mark, I like. I mean, I don't know, man. This is not nothing bad enough. But I remember you telling me one time that when you and Victoria was building the company, you would purposely take a trip, you and her.
Yeah.
To kind of tell us what you would do,
Yeah. So this is the thing with businesses, guys. The majority, and this is what I was told by a mentor, and it cut me deep. Most people think they're business owners or they're entrepreneurs, but all they own is a job.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
that was straight
All
to
they
the point.
own is a
All they
job.
own is a job.
Yeah. So how do you test whether you're an entrepreneur, business owner, or all you own is a job? Can you currently leave right now? Let's say, hey guys, you know what? In a week, we're leaving for 2 weeks. And can your business still continue to survive? Well, not only survive, but thrive without you being there.
Oh my God.
Right?
You said a mouthful.
Yeah. So what happened is, okay, how do we systematically get to that? And you don't have to invent anything new, because if you're in trucking, or if you're in the lawn services, or if you are in the barber business, if you're in the insurance business, we talked about this in the past. There's already somebody doing this currently successfully.
True.
So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. So what I did was I traveled all over the U.S. I'm big on conferences and networking with other individuals that are already living the life or having the business that I want.
Wow.
And I would ask them, hey, can I come join you for a day? Would you be against it? Many said no, and a few said yes. And I would go to Minneapolis, parts of either Georgia, Dallas, you name it, and I'm there. Okay, how do you answer the phone? What customer relation management program do you use to be able to keep up with all the clients? How do you run your numbers? How do you make decisions? How do you currently remove yourself from here 2 to 3 weeks at a time without the company? What structure do you use, right? And started piecing all these things together. And it takes a lot of time and a lot of investment. But what happens is, little by little, we'll leave for, say, 5 days, and then things will go wrong. Then we'll come back, and then, all right, what happened? Let's figure it out. Let's make the changes, and then leave another 5 days, and then things got better, but something different went wrong.
Right.
And that's how we kept it going. Last year we were 72 days out of the country. We traveled out of the country 72 days, and we had our best year.
Wow.
Wow. But it's also because we empowered and developed individuals, and we systemized the business to be able to follow that. To anybody out there, just think about this. If Dollar General right now, the closest Dollar General to you, fires the person, the teller gets fired, or the cashier gets fired, The owner of Dollar General is not going to go out there and have to interview somebody. Somebody else is doing that. There's already somebody else in charge. But it goes back to the systems and processes that are in place. You know, do you have a company handbook? Do you have training? Do you have development? You know, are you currently recruiting individuals? Do they believe in your big vision, and are they committed to the mission, right? And that's where, and it goes back to leadership. If you currently don't have that, that's on you and nobody else. And I had been extremely blessed to have great mentors who have been straightforward with me. And I've been very open to that constructive criticism.
Wow.
Man, you gotta be willing to be trained. You gotta be willing to be trained or get transferred. That's what Pastor Paul said, man. 2 T's: get trained or get transferred.
Wow.
Did you know this is a big fact? Out of the Forbes 500, over 90% of them have the CEOs have coaches.
All of them got
So
coaches.
that mentorship coaching is
Correct.
one of
It's
the
important.
biggest things
Absolutely.
that you can have in any business.
Well, because they're high achievers,
Right.
always believe they're not doing enough. Think about that. High achievers
don't believe that
they
they're doing
don't
enough.
believe they're doing enough.
That's why they keep achieving.
Exactly.
They
They're
keep
the
working,
biggest
keep
self-critics.
elevating, keep going up.
They're the biggest self-critics. And they're always analyzing, like, hey, what can I get better on? What can I get better at? And even though they're extremely experts at business or maybe a particular trade, they don't portray that whenever they go out. They're like, I have to show you that I know more. They don't do that. So that's what I've learned being around very successful individuals. They are so in tune with who they are, they don't have to go show you who they are. And they're okay with that.
Let me ask you something, Marco. I talked to you a couple times when I cut your hair or whatever,
Yep.
and you always, like, it can be a guy coming in, he on a basketball team or something, you do something to help them, I mean, whatever, you always trying to help somebody.
Yeah.
Where you get that perspective of life from?
Junior year, I've never told this story openly, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Real
So-
talk.
Real talk, yeah.
Let's get it.
Junior year, because of my immigration status at the time, I still didn't have my residency. I was starting to feel very depressed because in my senior year, you know, after that, we're going to graduate. Everybody's going to go to college, university, all these things. And that was my last summer. And I worked my entire 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th year, you know. And I wanted to do just one time, be able to be a part of a 1 month basketball camp and tournament. And I remember just feeling down. Mrs. Joe Nelson, who the middle school in Santa Rosa is named after, to not break UIL rules, sponsored the whole team. Shoes, the uniforms, and because of that, I was able to participate. That lady passed away, but I still got to call her and thank her, because that, even though it was small, meant so much to me personally that now I want to pass it on to other people.
Gotcha.
So whenever the AAU teams or, you know, right now we have Mississippi County, the Bandits, we sponsor them.
You sponsor us too.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And whenever
What's up?
whenever anybody comes in, kids and veterans for me are my soft spot, to be honest.
Gotcha.
One, because I knew my mother till I was 8, and I know how it is for many of the kids in those teams to be able to have that one something to cling into. And then 2, on the veteran side, because I'm a naturalized citizen. So I do value the freedoms that we have in this country, different than others.
Gotcha.
People that been here.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it goes back to perspective, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah, you got a pretty dope perspective, man.
Man, I remember me and you was having a conversation, and back when you said it already, you was like, we're gonna dominate the service industry, and then the food and
Yeah.
stuff like that. You remember that conversation?
Yep.
And I think you asked me, you was like, man, why so many, I think you was like, churches. Like, why so many black churches? Like, why, you know what I'm saying? Like that. And you asked me, and like, I didn't even have an answer right then. Like, cause like, it goes like with our people, like it's been rooted in us, like for a long time. Like it go all the way back to like slavery and all. You know what I'm saying? Like us just hating each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm referring back to the previous conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So like, it's crazy that we can't come together and like just come together and be as one, like something real big, like spectacular. But we all we want to kind of just be the man. Everybody want to be, you know what I'm saying, top dog, like crabs in the bucket. We're gonna pull each other down and shit like that. And I didn't have an answer then because it just shocked me. Like when you hit me with it, I was like, damn, man, you just like things you say just make you think. Like I've been sitting over here just pondering on things you've been talking about, and man,
I have a mentor that talks about performance coaching based on performance questions. And it took about a whole year and a half with me for me to develop that. And and that changed her business. So just to give you an idea of what that means. I'm talking about basketball. When somebody goes out there and shoots a free throw, right, and they don't follow through, the ball is usually going to hit the front of the rim, right? And we're going to yell, "Hey, follow through!" Right?
Right.
Yeah.
cookie
Or
jar.
or even if they follow through and they're short, they probably didn't bend the knees, right?
True.
Right. And we're like, bend your knees, right?
Yeah.
And we're out there yelling right from the top of our lungs. Well, a lot of these kids don't know why they got to do that. They just been told. And on the performance coaching, this mentor of mine again said that the great coaches take them to the side and say, "Hey, where do you think your power for shooting comes from?" And they're like, "Oh, we never thought about that." Yeah. Have you ever thought about a spring? Like, what do you believe your spring is in your body? Like, oh, my legs. Oh, that's why I gotta bend my knees, right? Hey, where do you think the sense of direction for the ball or where you're shooting towards the rim comes from? My form. Yeah. So what happens if you don't finish your form all the way through? It's not gonna go towards the target. I get it, right? That's the performance coaching side. So the performance questioning is through the development equals the development of performance coaching and individuals to be able to learn it for themselves, as opposed to you telling them what to do. So because that person that made that mistake in regards to the follow through, you're going to tell them 5, 6, 7 more times.
Right.
Because they don't understand for themselves, right? So we do the same thing on our business side. We bring in, I want raw kids. I want raw 20-year-olds, millennials, everybody's scared of them. I love them. I love them. You know why everybody's scared of millennials for employees? Because they can't understand them. Because they don't want to change the way they become bosses. And I love it.
Right.
Because you empower these kids, man, they're the best employees ever.
Right.
You give them the title they want, the power they want, and you train them.
Teach them,
Yeah. Man,
Groom 'em up.
they run the business. And you don't got to be there.
Man, that's dope, man.
Man.
This episode of Real Talk Barbershop 870 is sponsored by
870 Trucking.
Where they specialize in general freight.
Give us a call at 870
870
278
278
2934.
2934.
Yes, sir.
You did.
I got one more thing
Bring it.
before we go. I want to circle back to when you got smuggled over here.
Yep.
And you meeting your mom at 8 years old.
Yep.
Before then,
Yep.
tell me about that. Like your life before then, and
So
how you ended up.
my
getting over it.
my dad was actually a drug runner, my biological father.
Wow.
And he was in and out of jail. I only met him 3 times in my life. Once I was about 5, 6 years old, and he was I met him in jail. And he was a hustler in every way, shape, or form. He actually would charge, and I still remember, and I brought it up later on when I met him in life. He was a great writer, So he would charge people that didn't know how to write letters for them in jail.
Wow.
And I remember I brought that up, and he just laughed like, ah. And but only again met him 3 times. My grandmother from my mother's side raised me, along with my grandfather. He was a blacksmith, drunk person, but extremely hardworking. He probably one of the biggest male influences in my life on the secular work, but not in how to be able to be a head of household.
Wow. Wow.
So, but my grandmother showed me one thing till her last breath, that if you stay loyal to who you are, the little things that you plant in seeds all come your way. I'll come back to you. When she died, we had over 500 people in her funeral from all over the U.S. and Mexico. People I never met. And it went back to, oh, she helped us this time, or they all had a story. And so he asked me, why do I do what I do? One day, guys, we're not gonna be here.
Right.
Right. All I'm hoping is for somebody to come shake my son's hands. I got 3 sons, and say, you know what, your dad was a good guy. That's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Marco, man, you done dropped a lot on us, a lot of nuggets, a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom.
Facts.
Man, we appreciate you for coming and sharing with us today. But before we go, before we wrap it up, man, looking with that camera right there, man, if you gotta leave a message, what would it be?
I'll make it plain and simple, guys. We all have what I call 5 lives. You're born to 18, 18 to 36. And then every 18 years until the day you die. Even though some of us might get a late start, even though some of us are stuck, don't let that be your peak. Don't let that be your end.
Right.
And for somebody like myself, who the first 18 years of life, I thought I was done. I said, you know what? I'm going to suffer like this for the rest of my life. I can tell you from experience, surround yourself by individuals whose life you want to live. Discipline yourself, tighten your belt, and you're going to be fine. That's the best advice I can give. Discipline. And consistency on that.
Wow.
Like that, Marcos.
Man,
Like that.
It's been one here.
It's
man.
been a great
Been
interview.
one.
Dope
Gave us
episode.
one, Marcos.
y'all know how I know
super
it's
dope.
been a great one. I gotta put some laughter in there. Yeah. We started off hype. Now look at everybody.
Yeah, man, we just
No,
Yeah,
I want to
no
drop
doubt.
one last one because I got to always do this one. If you're an African American, service sales veteran, or you're a woman, get yourself certified by the state of Arkansas. That's a minority-owned business. Reach out to Esperanza Masana. She's the executive director for the minority-owned business owners through the Arkansas Economic Division. Let her know Marco sent you. Get certified. Now, why is it important for you to be certified? I'm going to give you a few points that I've used for my business.
Please.
Guaranteed financing. Southern Bancorp and Arvis Bank. They participate on the guaranteed financing. So that means that the minority certificate that you have, along through the Arkansas Economic Division, you can reach out to Southern Bancorp or Arvis and be able to receive financing if you have a business plan. Now, if you don't have a business plan, I'm going to tell you who to call. Laura Miller from the Arkansas, it's called ASBDC. Okay, that's from the Arkansas State University. Just call them, ask for Laura Miller. You'll get to her.
It's right down the screen, y'all.
Yeah. Business plan, guaranteed financing. People think that going to school and getting your 4-year degree is going to guarantee you a great life. I'm the opposite, guys. I believe great life comes through entrepreneurship and owning your business and owning your time. That's going to eventually give you a better freedom.
Owning your time.
Okay? So, again, if you don't have a business and you want to start one, Laura Miller. from Arkansas State University. If you already have a business, an existing business, and you need financing, get certified with Esperanza Masana, and then reach out to either Arvist or Southern Bancorp. And why is financing important? You need a capital market injection a lot of the times to your business for growth, to be able to expand, to be able to buy either equipment, or to be able to hire more individuals. So, and all this again is attainable. And that is the best business advice I can give to anybody. Again, it's a woman that is an African American or Hispanic American or service disabled veteran. And if you're a trucker and you have a service industry, you qualify along with a couple other services to be able to go after set aside contracts from government contracts. Yeah.
He just dropped something over right there.
He just dropped something on me. So when we close this thing out,
we
I'm gonna get them numbers.
Yeah, you get the number.
I gotta get this information from you.
Learn the rules, guys, and play them better than everybody else.
Yes, sir. Wow. Learn the rules and play them better than everybody else. Look out now. Let's close this thing up with that one right there.
Came with it, man.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate
Shout out
you,
to
man.
you,
Yeah,
Marcos.
shout out to Marcos, man.
No
Make
doubt
some
about
noise
it.
for Marcos.
Let's drop it.
Yeah, it's your boy Ro.
It's your boy Preach Boy Spann.
It's your boy Bebe the Motivator.
And I am JR, aka Mr. Rogers.
And this is Marco Sierra, the roofing contractor. Give us a shout.
And
You
he's going to Real Talk
Barbershop 870.
Real Talk Barbershop 870.
Hey, man, y'all go like and subscribe.
Just do it like
Y'all
that
know
right
what
there.
it is,
Yes,
man.
Hit the button, man. Hit the button.
Yes, sir. Hit that button. Yes, sir. Shout out to y'all.
Appreciate you, Mark.
Outstanding, man.
Damn.